What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Roblox reaction. Today we have Beneath the Final Light from Pressure as requested by Truck Machine. Apparently a lot of people wanted me to get to this one. It is 8 minutes long, a little over 8 minutes long. So pretty much the only thing I have to say for this one is for 8 minutes, it better be good or I'm going to be vastly disappointed. So I guess without further ado, let's go! That like wobbly undertone is an interesting way to start. A little warbliness going on the bass. And the imagery of, you know, the picture in front of me. I'm assuming that this is a horror game of sorts. The vibe kind of fits for the music already there. Okay. This is actually kind of giving me like a pause menu feeling. Weirdly enough. Kind of a PS1 era pause screen. It's a decent loop. It's got a good solo going on. Potentially a little repetitive, but it kind of has an energy I'm sitting with right now. There was a change, but only like a fill, you know? I'm assuming it's gonna get to like other stuff. I hope it's not this for 8 minutes. That would be embarrassing. But I like the mood this is setting, if not a little repetitive, like I said. And there's something different. Ooh, okay. I expected it to go down on that final load. It went up. Went up again. Gotta have the organ. Gotta have the ominous organ in there. So far, I'm like viewing the overall production quality very highly. It's really well done. Nothing's getting lost. That's a really good sign. Again, the chord progression is really nice here too. That step down, especially that first step down, that's a really nice one. Oh. Okay, we got kind of like a bridge there. What's it moving into, though? weird. It felt like it... Well, let's see if it does it again. No, it didn't do it that time. Okay. Maybe it's this rotation. Yeah, okay. That's an interesting choice. Staying on the same note. That one. And then stepping down from there. Okay, that's not too common. I'll give him props on that one. It feels weird because it's so uncommon, but it's nice to hear uncommon things, you know? It's not the same shit every day. Always gotta love having the sirens blaring. Gotta let your listener know something's wrong. Throw in some sirens. It's a really good choice of a drum loop behind everything, too. It's a really good tone setter. Kind of gives you an atmosphere baseline, even without the rest of the atmosphere going on. And there's the guitar again. I like how subdued this solo is. It's not just mindlessly shredding and going up and down scales. It's taking its time. Honestly, that's pretty uncommon. More often than not, I hear a lot of Roblox stuff, especially doing the opposite. Woo! See, like right there, the do-do-do-do-do-do. That's a good step. It's like I'm just kind of listening to all the layers of like atmospheric stuff underneath it, like the strings and all this other noise in there. Ooh, nice. The power down effect. I appreciate that. That's another surprisingly underutilized thing. For a lot of games, they don't do that, and it's something that should honestly be used more. This one was really good in some unconventional and uncommon ways, which is why I actually really liked this one. It was so unique in the way it was approaching music for like what I now assume is a boss theme because I saw all the phases were in there. I went to go and scrub through and I realized all these were phases, but that's one of the reasons I think that this is so good at innovating in that field for especially Roblox stuff that I've heard so far, because just like most other games out there, a lot of games do this. They just make very distinct separate phases for their themes. And while there's definitely motifs shared between, it's not super subtle a lot of the time. And this one kind of took the theme of the game and the vibe of the game to a different level by actually making the game feel like it's subtly incrementing upon that last, like it's creeping up on you just like the theme is. That just works really well for like a horror game because you're doing something that the creature you'd be facing or whatever you're dealing with at this point would probably be doing, like a power creep sort of scenario where there's not this huge explosive, oh it's phase 2, oh it's phase 3, and it's not like this sudden step up to the next section where there's more clear energy. I thought a lot of this was just bridges, just extended bridges into maybe another phase, but it was so smooth that I really didn't feel like they were separate phases. Like, this felt so cohesive and so smooth that I didn't even notice that there was supposed to be phases. And again, that works really well for the theme of a horror game where you really, honestly, in my opinion, especially if it's like a psychological sort of thriller situation, you should not be doing such aggressive jumps to phases. So this is really well done. It's adding pressure, one would say.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
But dad joke aside there, that was really nice because a lot of the time, again, you have these sudden jumps, the entire tone of the song shifts to a different energy, or you get a bunch of new information, even if it's the same theme. You get like so many new layers that it can be hard to tell what was new and what's old, like what was there in the beginning versus what's added by the end of the song. This one added maybe 1 or 2 layers for like every single phase, and that's such a gradual increase to that final phase that by the time it grows into that big final moment, you actually feel like there's a threat there. It's again very, very nice that they just added this in subtly. It's so good in that way. I honestly can't remember a song that's done something like that, where it's been this subtle, this gradual of a lean into the final version of the song. And I do love that there were parts in here that did feel like a bridge, but also added to the song afterwards, like that one piano part with the violin that just kind of backed everything off for a bit somewhere in the middle. That's a really nice place to just add a moment of breath in between everything else. You kind of have to have a bit of a pressure release valve. That was not supposed to be a joke. I just realized what I did there.
Get your ass on.
But you do kind of need a pressure release valve. Like, you need something to be able to reset the viewer, reset the listener, for them to understand that there's this little lull between these. You know, like, you can't have constant pressure added. There needs to be a step back before things can move forward effectively. And this song does that really well. Again, with the like atmosphere too. Brilliant atmosphere here, really sticking to the gun the whole way through and playing it safe while also withholding enough information while trying to build the new information that it doesn't feel like they spewed everything out at you all at once. They really do set this like tone right at the beginning, and they keep that underneath everything pretty consistently through. And even though they do add a little bit more energy, it's mostly on the top layers and not the bass line. So all of that atmosphere stuff under there, all those synths and violins and other strings and such, those just kind of stay. And staying there all the way to the end means that everything else, again, kind of feels more cohesive. All these different phases feel that much more put together because that is a constant. There's always a constant in your ear. Even at that section where it backs it off, it keeps like 1 or 2 of those elements, like the violin being in there, even if it was a lead violin and not like that atmospheric violin. This is a really neat one for sound design. And then there's other really cool stuff, like that one spot where I was like, oh, that's weird, because they held on one note instead of stepping down each time. Like, each measure, they're holding a note, they step down, and one of them, they basically copy and pasted it and then moved down afterwards. And again, that's just super unconventional. It's not something I hear often. And I feel like people are afraid to do that because it loses progression when you do that. But that, again, works great for the vibe here. It's something that's wrong. It's something that's not usually the case when you listen to music. It's holding something longer than it should, so it feels out of place and almost uncomfortable, which, again, the vibe of this kind of horror game totally works with that, and they did a really fucking good job at doing that. I'm honestly impressed with this song and every phase in it because of how smooth everything connects together. And again, the sound design and mixing and mastering of this was some of the best I've heard out of any Roblox game so far, so there's also that. This is probably top 5 when it comes to sheer production quality. It is up there, and it's gonna hold its place for a while, I think. This is a very well done soundtrack. But I've also been yapping about this one a lot longer than I really intended to. With longer songs like this, I tend to talk less, but there is just so much, and there's so much more I could say, but I'm gonna stop yapping so this video doesn't become 25 minutes long. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you have another request from any Roblox game you want me to get to, by all means, drop it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. There's a lot of Roblox stuff on my members first right now, by the way. So like, if you're waiting for a specific song, it might be coming and it'll just take a few days to a few weeks. It really just depends on when I uploaded it. They get those a month ahead of time. So there might be something you really want on the way, but regardless, if you want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!